Hello and welcome to MCPSS Athletics. My name is Calvin Chris, Athletic Director for Mobile County Public Schools. Studio today we have from Cincinnati High School, Principal Randy Campbell and Head Football Coach and AD Barry Gibson. And we'll be back right after this message.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in a 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Toomey.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
The quality of education that I received from the Mobile County Public School System really prepared me for global success. Being an international opera singer, I get to travel all across the world. And one of the most important aspects about that is being able to communicate and work with people. And the Mobile County Public School System really equipped me to be greatly successful worldwide.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
Welcome back. Our first guest today is the Athletic Director and Head Football Coach at Cincinnati, Coach Barry Gibson. Coach, appreciate you coming by today.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Coach, I want you to go into your career a little bit. You've been at some places, and also a lot of people don't know, you even were with the Washington Redskins at one time, I believe.
Well, that was a long time ago. But yes, I'm originally from Moss Point, Mississippi, which is right down the road. I played my high school ball there and graduated, went to Southern Miss on a football scholarship, and really enjoyed the 4 years at Southern Miss. Got to play for two outstanding coaches. P.W. Underwood was my head coach for 3 years, and then Bobby Collins came in my senior year and got to play for Coach Collins. And what a lot of people don't know is that Mac Brown, former head coach at Texas, was my wide receiver coach. He was my position coach at Southern Miss, and just learned a lot from Coach Brown, and developed a relationship with him, and been friends with him, over the last 35 years. But left Southern Miss, signed a free agent contract with the Washington Redskins as a wide receiver and kick return guy, and then a career-ending injury, tore my Achilles tendon up. Kind of ended my career when I was there, and then went into coaching, and been doing that now for this is my 38th year, I think, in coaching, and coached a little college ball. Was able to go to University of Tennessee under Johnny Majors back in the mid-'80s, and had a chance to be on staff there, and enjoyed that, coaching in the SEC. So, but high school ball is where I really enjoyed being. I mean, I just think as a head coach, you get to make more of an impact on young people's lives at that age, than you do at the college age.
Well, that's good, Coach. That's a lot of, I won't say famous, but real people that have gone on and done real well that you've been associated with. That's a great experience for you, I'm sure. Coach, I know it's been a not so successful season at Cincinnati win-loss record, but I know you've got a young bunch, and let's just talk a couple minutes about that.
Yeah, we were, going into the season, we knew we were going to be young. We lost a lot of seniors off last year's team, and then the reclassification hit us, and that kind of caught everybody by surprise. We were kind of a middle-of-the-road 5A school as far as numbers and enrollment. We really didn't expect to be moved up. I felt like if we would have stayed in 5A and in the region we were in, we would be having, some success right now.
Right.
Maybe even 4-2, 5-1, because we had a good bunch coming back, even though we knew they were going to be young. But the reclassification bumped us up to 6A, and then not only that, they put us in the toughest region in the state with
no doubt
powerhouses, Spanish Fort and Daphne and Blunt and Saraland, and it goes to Robertson, it goes on and on. I told somebody the other day, you normally, if you're lucky, you have to play one top 10 team in the state one time, but it's every week for us.
Right, right.
4 of the top 10 teams in the state in 6A are in our region. So we're playing those guys every week. But our kids are battling. You know, they're doing everything we ask them to do, and fighting as hard as they can. But I think the difference, you know, in the size and the speed, you know, is obviously shown up, you know, on Friday nights.
Right.
But I'm proud of, you know, we've been in some games there, and then I think depth got us.
Right.
I think other teams have, you know, 90 and 100 players. They send in those fresh legs, and a lot of our kids have to play both ways.
Right.
You got to get your athletes on the field. So it's been tough. It really has. But like I've always said, you know, God wouldn't have created mountains if He didn't intend for us to climb. So we're going to climb those mountains. And a lot of times success is not measured in wins and losses. I think, you know, building character, instilling discipline in your program, and have your kids do the right things. You know, if they do that, then you're successful,
Right,
no matter
right.
what the W in the L column says. But everybody's back next year. The biggest part of our team is back next year. We should be much better and stronger next year because all these young kids are getting a lot of playing experience right now, which may be bad this year, but it's really good for the future.
Yeah. Coach, I venture to say those 4 teams you mentioned that you're in the region with, they would probably be in the top 10 in 7A this year.
Oh,
wouldn't they?
absolutely.
I mean, they're just that good, and it really is a tough region. I would agree with you. It's probably the toughest that we've got in the state. Coach, what have you managed to run this year? I know you got a young team now. I know it's probably been simple, but on your offense this year, what have you done?
You know, last year we were a true triple option team out of the pistol. We had a very smart quarterback who could read it, had made all the right reads, and our offensive line was you know, better suited for that style of offense. This year, you know, we lost the whole offensive line from last year, so we had a bunch of 5 new, you know, starters on the offensive line. I decided to change from the option because these kids struggled a little bit. You know, we looked at it with them. They struggled a little bit with the kind of blocks we wanted to make, so I changed it to more of a wing tee, a shotgun wing tee type offense, and tried to make it simpler for them. You know, and we've moved the ball, you know, some, and then sometimes, like I said, it's hard to move, you know, the ball when you got 185-pound guard trying to block a 315-pound tackle, and no matter what you run, it makes it tough. But we experimented with that. We've also looked, you know, at some zone read stuff, and that's been good for us the last couple of weeks. It seemed like the kids just were better suited for that style. So we're kind of mixing it in right now with the power and the counters mixed in with the zone read. But I think you have to adjust according to your personnel. You can't, you know, just coach a system or a scheme and say we're going to do this every year. I just, if I haven't learned anything else as a head coach over the last 30-something years, it's that. You have to adjust to your personnel. And we just felt like as a staff that our personnel was better suited for what we're trying to do now. Now next year's group, who knows, you know, but with a lot of kids returning, I think we'll, you know, stay with, you know, what we're doing, maybe tweak it a little bit, you know, according to the running backs and who the quarterback's going to be. But, you know, I think you have to be flexible, you know, and really adjust to your personnel.
Well, Coach, we're going to have you back in the last segment. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with Mr. Campbell.
It started with me at Murphy High School when I came here as a freshman in 1973. I was very interested in math and science already before I came to Murphy. From Murphy High School, I was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy, was able to get my college degree and also my commission in the U.S. Navy from the Naval Academy. But it truly was the foundation that I gained here at Murphy High School that allowed me to take advantage of that great opportunity.
Welcome back. We now have Mr. Randy Campbell, the principal at Centennial High School. Actually, my first principal I've ever had on the show. And Mr. Campbell, appreciate you coming by.
Well, thank you for having me, Calvin.
Let's talk a little bit about, just found out you also are Southern Miss grads. You can talk a little bit about your career. I know we stowed you from Baldwin County, and we're happy to have you in Knott County, but you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I went to high school at Warren Central High School in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and then I was fortunate enough to get an athletic scholarship to Southern Miss and play in 1980. And so played football there, was redshirted for a year, so played from 80 to 84, and enjoyed that. I stayed on and was able to continue with my degree and get my master's degree as a GA there. Worked for Bobby Collins, and then and then continued on. I mean, and Bobby recruited me, and then you know, and I got my GA there.
Good, good. Now you actually started your administrative in Baldwin County, didn't you?
I did. I've been an administrator for a principal for like 20 years. I started out actually in Alabama. I started out in Elmore County at Hopewell High School, and then moved to middle school as a principal in Alexander City for 4.5 years, and got to work with our present superintendent, state superintendent Tommy Bice. I was the middle school that fed into Benjamin Russell at the time. He was a principal, and then moved to Baldwin County as Daphne Middle School for a couple of years, and then had the opportunity to move into Mobile County. And I have really, truly enjoyed my time in Mobile County. I mean, we think a lot alike,
right,
and have a lot of the same philosophies about how to positively affect students academically and with an entire program. So. I have really enjoyed my opportunities in Mobile County, and being given this opportunity to be the principal at Centennial High School is just tremendous. Yes. I have really enjoyed just the short time I've been there, and I'm looking forward to several years of a lot of positive things.
Mr. Campbell, a lot of people don't realize that maybe watching that y'all are in a big transition. We're building a brand new school up there, and I know that that's a great time, but also the transition can cause a lot of disruptions and all. So you want to talk a little bit about the transition that you're going through with the new school and
yeah,
all?
we are very excited about all the happenings in Citronelle. The new school building, the way they're going to be renovating the current facilities. They'll be tearing down some of the older buildings and you know, creating some additional facilities. It's really exciting, and you know, it's a special time right now. Right now they're in the first stages of demolishing, or the demolition part of the site where the new school building is going to be, just across LeBaron, which is where the new school will be, just right across from the current campus. And you know, what we're going to be building in 3 years, you know, it'll completely change the look of Citronelle, and it's right downtown Citronelle, and it's a good thing. I mean, a lot of people are very excited about that. We're going to build you know, the current cafeteria is going to be a culinary arts program, and the new current main building will be a comprehensive career tech program, and then we'll have our new school building with all new things, and a new auditorium. And so, you know, we'll get have a lot of community events in there, and the community is excited about that.
And I believe it's going to change the whole outlook of education in Centennial with all these new things we're bringing in, because this is job opportunities for these kids with the culinary arts and all, isn't it?
It is, and with our Signature Academy, you know, we're already connected to several of the businesses up and down the 43 corridor, and we had 15 students who served in student internships at Otokampu, and they got paid. They were paid a salary, and 3 of them have already been hired to start as soon as they finish their school, and you know, start now with $48,000, $50,000 jobs, and I know they're happy. We're happy for them. Their parents are very happy that their kids will be off their payroll. So,
exactly.
You know, so it's exciting, and we're looking to expand that. We've already been in discussion with some other industries down 43, and we're looking to expand that program.
That's great. Mr. Campbell, how is it working in the community schools? People don't realize the difference in working in the community school, and maybe we've got one school in town that their middle school feeds, you know, 3 or 4 high schools. So how is it working in the community school?
You know, it's a very unique environment, and it's a very unique chemistry between a local school that's located within the city limits of a local city. And you have a lot of people, and Citronelle is just a great community. The mayor, city councilman, you know, a lot of the community leaders are very much involved in the operations at the school. And you know, what I like is they don't mind voicing their opinions, and I get a lot of feedback from that and can make adjustments where we need to. But it's all in the best interest of the students and the community that we serve up there. It is a very unique situation. You know, we have additional support from you know, local police and fire departments and EMTs, and that's always very helpful. So you know, it's really neat, and it's a good situation to be in. I enjoy being in that type of environment.
I want you to tell us about how your twins are doing. Y'all don't know, Mr. Campbell, 2 daughters are probably 2 of the best athletes we've ever had to come out of this county. They went on to college and did real well. Let's talk a little bit about them. I know you're very proud of them.
Yeah, they've done a great job. They came to Satsuma High School with Mobile County Public Schools as sophomores and finished their high school careers and graduated from Satsuma High School. They played softball, and they were in the top 10% of their class, and so they've done well academically. They had the opportunity to play college ball, one of them here locally at University of South Alabama, Hannah, and then Lana had the opportunity to play at University of Alabama, Birmingham, and both of them are left-handed pitchers, and they've had, you know, both of them had decorated college careers, and they've just finished up. This will be the first year that fall that they've not played softball for the last 4 years, and first year that my wife and I haven't chased softball all over, you know.
A lot of miles on the vehicles, isn't it?
So, you know, but they're doing very well. Lana's finishing up her teaching degree and wants to coach in high school and be a teacher. And then Hannah is working on her master's in exercise science, and she wants to coach in college. And so they'll both have opportunities that people are already talking to them, and so they'll have the opportunity to do that. So, you know, they're Mobile County Public School graduates, and they've done very well. They brought a lot of positive press to the area over the years, and this summer they both had the opportunity to play professional softball in Akron, Ohio. So we even went up there and spent a week up there during the summer, and that was a really interesting and very unique experience for the 2 girls. And they've done a great job with that. It's a big transition. You know, anytime you move to the next level, it's a new learning experience, and they both learned, and they had a lot of things to learn about being competitive at that level. But they've done well, and you know, and look forward to whatever they do next. So been very proud of.
That's great. I know you are. Stay right there. We're going to bring Coach Gibson back, and we'll go on our last segment right after this break.
Nonviolence will start with me.
Nonviolence will start with me.
All across the Mobile County public school system, students are taking the pledge.
I pledge to accept the responsibility of my actions.
To solve problems peacefully.
Respect myself and others.
The 100 Days of Nonviolence Pledge. It's an initiative to help explore alternative means of stopping violence among school students. Will you take the challenge? Get involved. Take a stand. 100 Days, 100 Ways.
Smartboard, that's wrong.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to energy-saving bulbs. Saving energy saves you money. When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
Welcome back. We thank you for watching today. We got Coach Gibson and Mr. Campbell from Cincinnati High School. And Coach, I want you to tell about your transition. You got a brand new weight room, got it all set up, and then you got the word, didn't you? You had to move.
We did. We knew we needed new weights. You know, we had some old weights that had been there for 30-something years. So I went to the quarterback club and told them, you know, what we needed, and they were so gracious into help going in and investing in brand new weights to the tune of about $40,000, state-of-the-art, you know, power racks, everything that you could ever want in a weight room, you know, we were able to get. We had it set up in our weight room, and we had an open house. People came out, the community came out to see it, and we were just showing it off and really, really proud. You know, the kids were excited and coaches were excited. And then Mr. Campbell walked out on the practice field one day, and I think it was on a Wednesday, and says, "Coach, just got the word, we got to move out of the field house, and we got to get all those weights out and the lockers, everything out by Monday because they're about to tear the building down and start, you know, working on the new school." And so we did that. We got busy and was able to get everything out. We were fortunate to have an auditorium where we were moved the weights into, which is now housing our weight room. We put lockers up on the stage and where the kids dress, and so we're very fortunate to have that space.
Right.
You know, I don't know what we would have done if we would not have had that auditorium. But it's fine, you know, right now. You do what you have to do, you know, in transition, and that's exactly what it is. It's a transition period.
Yeah. Mr. Campbell, a lot of times I get calls from first-year principals, and they don't realize, and we're all about academics, and that's why we're in it, but they don't realize how important part that athletics plays in the school. And like I said, every good high school or even middle school, the front porch is athletics almost. And I want you to talk a little bit about how important athletics is in our schools.
Well,
and your background is great for it.
My bachelor's and master's was paid for through college sports. Both of my daughters they're getting their college degrees paid for through that. My wife's was. I mean, so you know, that's the ultimate goal when you're in high school, is to be able to get somewhere and go to college or you know, go post high school and have it paid for. I mean, that's as much as possible. And you know, academics is a huge part of that as well. I mean, and we use kids' interest in sports to get the academic gains that we require so that they can be successful. And you know, that's a big part of it. So, you know, and the community being, you know, we talked earlier about being in a community. I mean, that community, they look at the sporting programs.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what they do on Friday nights, and it's a big part of it. So you know, they're very vocal, very involved, and very supportive of all of our programs. So it is a huge part of a comprehensive high school program, especially when you're located within a city.
Right, I agree. Coach, you want to talk a little bit about your off season? You know, you work year round. What you do during the off season at your school, the summer, then after the season is over?
Well, it's gotten to a point now where it's 12 months a year in high school football. It's gotten so serious and intense. If you don't work year round, you're going to be behind the 8 ball and be behind the other teams who are. So we'll immediately, at the end of the season, we'll go right into our off-season weightlifting and strength program. That's a time where I tell the kids that this is your time now to better yourself as an athlete. You know, everything's so team-oriented when the season starts, but in the off-season, this is a time where you as an individual can help the team by getting stronger, getting faster, you know, just getting better. And so we approach it that way. It's a very important time. And then we'll work you know, up till spring practice in our off season, lifting and running and doing the things that we can do. And of course, then a lot of kids play other sports, and that's fine too. I encourage that. I really, really encourage kids playing as many sports as they would like to play, because I think the competition, you know, and they may learn something from another coach that they didn't learn from me, you know, and so I really encourage them to play other sports. But the ones who don't, we'll work right on up to spring practice. We usually go in May. At Cincinnati, we usually have a pretty good baseball team, and I try to give those players, football players who are playing baseball, time to finish up baseball season, you know, to come into spring football. So we kind of go late for that reason, but we'll go in May in spring practice, the 10 days that we have. After that, we'll give them a couple of weeks off just to go be teenagers and enjoy summer at the end of school, and then we'll bring them back in June and start our summer program. So it's year round. There's not a lot of downtime, but I think that's good because it keeps the kids involved. You know, a lot of them, it keeps them off the streets because sometimes they're too tired to go home and get in trouble.
Right.
So I think it's good all the way around.
It is. Mr. Campbell, I know you've got a great staff up there with you, administrative staff. You want to talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, we've got a first-year assistant principal with Mr. Joseph Roberson. He was our Signature Academy specialist last year. He's done a great job. He was, you know, we just, with the unfortunate accidents that happened and dealing with all the loss of 2 of our athletes over the past week. He's been very instrumental in helping that process, and because he's very connected with our kids. And Miss Daffin is this is her second year. She worked in federal programs for several years before coming in AP. She has a tremendous experience she brings to the school, a background, you know, with accountability and with academic excellence, and she's done a great job too. I mean, we've got an excellent staff up there. All of our teachers and I mean, you know, are just wonderful. I mean, they've come on board. They're on board with what we're looking at, and you know, we're looking at improving our effective instruction in the classroom, and doing a lot of things towards that. So I mean, we're surrounded by good people.
That's good, and that makes a difference, especially with the. I know I live with the principal, so I hear that. Listen, well, I appreciate y'all coming by. I know it's a busy time for you, and best of luck, and hopefully the transition will get over sooner than we think. So, but I do appreciate y'all coming. Our county's lucky to have y'all.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.